Robert Downey Jr. is back at Marvel, and Deadpool and Wolverine are blowing up the box office, smashing records. Meanwhile, though, the folks outside of Marvel, inside Disney, the ideologues, are destroying every bit of goodwill and opportunity they can. Plus, folks, we know what's going on with RDJ, and we're ready to spill some exclusives right now. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Pro Channel, the place that calls these things out months, if not years, in advance. Keeping you ahead of the culture curve is what we do right here. Folks, we are bringing receipts as well as explaining what the heck is going on with RDJ and this dismal Disney that continues to pump out propaganda and terrible marketing. Every time they get a win, they toss it into the wind. If you don't know what we're talking about, you soon will. This is Out of the Hollywood Reporter by Boris Kitt, Aaron Couch, and Ryan Gajewski. Robert Downey Jr. back as Dr. Doom for 2 Avenger movies. The stunning news came during Marvel's panel at San Diego Comic-Con. Well, folks, I'm here to tell you this was not stunning news if you knew what was going on because you've been following us. Take a look at this. All the way back from November 24th, 2021, Bob Chapek wants Iron Man and Luke Skywalker now. Oh, but Pro, you say? We're not getting RDJ as Iron Man. Well, folks, I would recommend that you stick around to the end of this video. And I'll explain why in just a moment. But here's another receipt brought to you by yours truly. This from 3 months ago. Robert Downey Jr. gets ready to return to Avengers and MCU, but media are hard at work hiding it. That's right, folks. We have been bringing this to you in broad daylight. You were not surprised at what happened at Comic-Con if you've been following the channel. Now, let me say this, and we will come back. I promise we will come back to the Robert Downey Jr. news. Here's why we're going to hold it till the end of the video. I am in a tough spot here, and that tough spot is this. I do not like to spoil a movie, and I do not like to spoil movies, period. When we do scoops and rumors here, and we have a track record, when we do those, we do our very best to not spoil what's going to happen in entertainment because that's a line I don't like to cross. I love to bring you the news early. I don't like to get into breaking your opportunity to go to a theater and hear it for the first time. And I don't want to be the person who starts those kinds of leaks, and then that makes it so that everybody, whether or not it's me acting appropriately or other media outlets covering what I say, I don't want to get into the position where it's my fault that you know what's going to happen in a movie and you wanted to go in there and be surprised. So I'm in a hard spot here because I want to explain this. So stick around. I'll show you how I'm going to do that. But first, I want to take you somewhere else real quick. And I promise it will be quick. But Deadpool and Wolverine is shattering box office records. We predicted here that this would be the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time. We made that prediction after the final trailer came out, which showed that this was not just going to be a raunchy R-rated comedy, but that it actually brought heart to the character of Wolverine. And boy, oh boy, did it. And that is why this will do so well. Make a note of this, folks. The WDW Pro mantra is that in any movie you want to make, put some heart in it. It will add to the box office. This is from Mark Hughes. This movie is eyeing a $400 million global opening weekend. Of course, that will be breaking all kinds of records. Biggest R-rated film of all time at the box office. And we'll tell you just how big this is going to be in just a moment. Marvel's instant summer blockbuster, Deadpool and Wolverine from director Sean Levy, is shattering box office records and expectations this weekend as it eyes a possible $400 million global opening. It looks destined to be the biggest R-rated opening in history. Well, what a thing. All right, well, we're not going to go into the internationals and all of this sort of stuff. Here's what I'll say. If we apply a 3x to this, and I think that's the place that we probably should put that in. That's really high for an R-rated movie because R-rated movies, they struggle to hold on to audiences because they can't attract kids easily, and they probably shouldn't. And I tell you, don't take your kids to this movie. I'm not here to be your parent. I'm not here to tell you how to parent. But it's apparent to me, see what I did there, that this is not a movie for kids at all. None whatsoever. Unless you want to watch your child take in villains being battered by the, I'll just, never mind. I'll leave it I'll leave it to your imagination, but don't put that into your child's imagination, I don't think, unless they're a full-grown adult. Anyway, 3X is where I think this goes, $1.2 billion. And I'll give it a little extra. I'll say it's going to be a $1.2 to $1.3 billion film. I think we can safely say that. It could overachieve that. It could slightly underachieve it. Regardless, it's going to be the biggest R-rated box office hit ever, and it's not going to be close. Now, Disney is making sure, though, to squander that at every possible step of the way. And I want to show this to you. I'm going to show you what I mean. You see, Marvel is trying to get things turned around. Kevin Feige trying to save his legacy. But that does not mean that the rest of Disney is in lockstep with them. Disney is still filled with ideologues. Whatever is happening at Marvel is not the same as so much of this massive company, which is absolutely overrun with propagandists and people who they thrive on division. Now, I want to show this to you, and we're going to strip out any of the socio-political beliefs that might sway you to think this is the right side of history. I just want to show you this. This is what they announced over at San Diego Comic-Con, and this is an article out of superherohype.com. It's by Matt Morrison. Now, in the top left, you're going to see this is a female version of Deadpool and a female version of Spider-Man. So here's what they announced. Now think about this. You're going into Comic-Con, Marvel Comics, the actual comics where they make the little booklet still, not doing well, doing that, in fact, terribly. And that has been largely because they've bought into utter division. So you've got Deadpool and Wolverine coming out. It is your only Marvel hit you are likely to have for this year and for next year until they can get out of this mess they made. So what should you make then? Well, you should make a tie-in comic with Deadpool because that's your chance to get eyeballs on your very, very flailing comic industry. But guess what? They're not interested in that at all. It says, San Diego Comic-Con is a time of big announcement, and SDCC 2024 is no exception. However, Marvel Comics still stunned attendees with stupidity. No, that's not what they're trying to say, but with the announcement of a new Deadpool, fresh off the success of Deadpool and Wolverine. The publisher simultaneously confirmed the introduction of a new Spider-Girl. Okay? Well, take a look. Deadpool is dead. Long live Deadpool. It had previously confirmed that the regenerating degenerate would meet his maker in issue number 6 of his current comic series. However, it was presumed that he would bounce back as he usually does. It has now been confirmed that Wade Wilson is no more. Deadpool number 7 will see Wade Wilson's daughter, Ellie Camacho, take over her father's mantle and business. The teenage girl has a genius intellect and her father's smart mouth. She also seems to have inherited a variant of his healing factor, although her power requires her to die before her body heals the damage. The series will find her continuing her combat training with Taskmaster while seeking revenge on her father's killer. Okay, I don't care if you are excited about this character in terms of this video. I'm happy for you if you're excited. I'm here to tell you, though, if you have a movie that is coming out and you know it is your best chance at lifting your comic sales, then every fiber of sanity in the universe says, make a tie-in comic with that same character. Deadpool and Wolverine, number 1. Deadpool and Wolverine, number 2. You've had years to tie this in. And what do? They do another gender swap because that's all they know. They are not interested in success. These are anti-success people inside Disney. Don't believe it? Check this out. This is off of X. Drew Smith is our sharer of the video. Many of you sent this to me, and I've got a different take than some of you, I believe, respectfully. Deadpool just got to Disneyland and is already making jokes about Splash Mountain. Here's what it says. Let's just play the clip, folks. You listen in and see what you think. Here we go.
My jokes are not outdated. They are hilarious and modern and unending, just like Splash Mountain.
Now, this is not off the cuff. This is a pre-written joke that Disney has come up with. We're going to have a debate this week about whether or not Deadpool should be appearing in Disneyland for little kids because of the profanity of the character in the movie. We'll talk about it. I do recall back in the 80s that there were R-rated characters appearing in little kids' cartoons everywhere. RoboCop, Beetlejuice come to mind, but there were many others. But this joke, what this is doing, I think some people are misinterpreting what the intent is behind it. I'm going to pay attention to the intent. The intent is in this joke, from whatever corporate suit wrote it, is for Deadpool to say that his jokes are modern and contemporary and not outdated. And then he makes the quip that he's like Splash Mountain. And so what's supposed to be funny is that Splash Mountain is, in their estimation, outdated. It is not modern. It is gone forever. But the problem with the joke, the reason that Disney and their wokeness is destroying this company and destroying their opportunity to springboard off of Deadpool and Wolverine, the reason all of this fails is because Tiana's Bayou Adventure has failed. And the people at Disneyland are dreading their version because they don't want an attraction that can't operate. And guess what else? Splash Mountain continues to exist in Japan. And it's by far one of the most popular attractions in that resort. I dare say it remains now the only remaining most popular attraction in the world. So the joke doesn't work. And that's the egg in the face of these people. Now, let's go back for just a moment. With all of that said, understanding that Disney is failing to catapult off of the success of Deadpool and Wolverine, they cannot get out of their own way. They're stepping on their own feet. Robert Downey Jr. back as Dr. Doom for 2 Avengers movies. I told you, I don't like to spoil films. And to tell you exactly what I have heard is happening here would spoil 2 films at least. So here's what I will say. If you wanted to have RDJ, Robert Downey Jr., come back for the Avengers, and if you wanted what he's really going to do to be a surprise, then you would need a diversion. You would need a misdirection. Something like having him come out as Dr. Doom and announcing that he's playing Dr. Doom at the San Diego Comic-Con. You might then be able to have him film, and I'm sure he will play Dr. Doom. I'm just saying to all of you out there, without getting into the specificities, because again, I do not want to ruin a movie for anyone. And that goes against the ethos of this channel. I'm just recommending to you, there is more to this than meets the eye. And they are trying to save a huge applause for when you go into that cinema, when you go in and you see those movies. So, if you needed to have RDJ do something fantastic, you need cover because you cannot film the movie with him without people knowing about it. He can't be just a cameo. That's not going to work. And if he's more than a cameo, everyone's going to know. And he needs to be on the red carpet. So you need a cover. That is all I'm going to say without going into any specifics of what's actually going to happen. One thing I can tell you, though, we have found out, undoubtedly, that if Marvel, that if Disney get rid of the divisiveness and they go headfirst into the universally loved characters as depicted in the comics, as traditionally displayed, audiences will return in untraditionally huge volumes. The problem for Disney is they don't believe in this at the highest levels at all. This goes against their world view. This goes against what they want to do. This goes against the entire agenda of a huge, powerful group of people who are determined to swap out the characters, the archetypes, the stories, the mythos that we love, and put in something new and different that will lead us to their version of an oligarchical, what would we say? An oligarchical utopia for them. That's a little deep, but we'll leave it there. All right, folks, click the like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell. Drop a comment right on down below. Let us know your thoughts and weigh in, please. What do you think will happen with RDJ and the MCU? And did I do a good enough job of leaving it unspecified so that we don't ruin films for so many of you? I would love to know your take on this. Also, did you see Deadpool and Wolverine yet? Let us know what you thought. Folks, we've got the Pro Show coming up this Tuesday at noon Eastern. We would love to have you there, and we appreciate so much your support of our other channels out there, like That Park Place, That Game Place, and oh, by the way, That Pod Place at a live stream today, 2 p.m. Eastern. The Hollywood Backlot with Lou and you. I'm sure they would love to have you there. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you had a great time. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
Oh.
What are you doing?
Well, you see, I wanted to get some inside scoops on Disney and their different corporations, if you know what I mean. So I figured by looking into this fistbowl and sucking it randomly with my own energy that I pay for, you paid for, I could do the whole experience where you can be a master and spy on your targets.
You're an idiot. If you want to get the inside scoop on Disney, or even other media organizations, you should check out thatparkplace.com and subscribe to WDW Pro's YouTube channel. That'd be way easier, more accurate, and, less dumb.
Are you saying I won't get accurate information this way?
No, you can't.
Who'd have think?